And Coach, why don't you go ahead and open us up with just your thoughts on another day of practice and getting ready for Atlanta tomorrow.
Yeah, another solid day to prepare for a team that played us tough for the most part. I know we kind of separated ourselves within those games, but they present firepower on their wings. Obviously, they're a top rebounding team, getting the offensive rebounds, cleaning the offensive rebounding glass up. So again, just kind of focusing on the details. Another day of preparation to get ready. Um, another game that we need to come out focused and kind of need to get this one.
All right, thanks, Coach. Percy, why don't you open us up and then we'll get to as many other questions as we can.
Awesome. Hey, Coach, I'm just curious about Mercedes Russell. You had talked about her the other day, and you said that you're a big advocate of Sadie's. Just in this league when you've got like 144 players and kind of things like we see this week of, with like good players getting cut because of cap issues and things like that, you really don't really see players like Sadie's who, as a rookie, didn't play a whole lot, right? I don't have her numbers in front, but couldn't have averaged more than 2 points and, 6 minutes and things like that. And then, so I'm just wondering, like, from your perspective, what has stood out over her 4 years to just go from somebody who was really the last player to get in these games, was kind of, that 12th player on the team, to now somebody who's in the starting lineup?
Definitely. I think, that's the progression of a lot of athletes. With any new level, there is an adjustment period. And if you think about being a professional, I think a lot of times we think we come into the league and play we all can't be Brianna Stewart come into the league, and you know what I mean? But just, trusting the process of her development. And that's sometimes what it takes with a player like Sadie is the natural development process that sometimes isn't allotted in our league because there's only 144 players there, because there's only 12 teams. And so when you have an opportunity to get a player and actually see, take time in the development, see what they can do on a day-to-day basis and have like a vision for that, then that's what you see in Mercedes. I think we saw how smart she was. Obviously, we talk about the height. You can't teach height. There's not a lot of players that are at her size, but also the skill set that she has. And again, I'll talk about it, the mind for the game. So you think about her taking time to learn, to grow, and within a system to where she's at her size is very mobile. At her size, she's still very effective. And at her size, she is playing the game with her mind. So again, just a testament to what she does, working day in, day out, going overseas and playing at a high level, and then coming back. Like, that is the true progression of that an athlete can have when you have time and you invest in them.
Hey, and then I guess along those that idea of progressing, that when she goes up against the 5 all-star centers in the league, Tina, Jonquel, Brittany, Sil, and I'm forgetting one. Liz, who, like you just saw, I guess that there's a expectation for maybe keeping them from not having a monster game, or if she can match them or outplay them, it's kind of like found money. When she's not playing against them, is she at the point now to where she's somebody that you guys can go to, that maybe she can dominate her matchup?
Mm-hmm. I think so. We talk about like her progression as well. She's guarding elite post players, and to me, she neutralized Liz, and she did a very good job. Her and Ezzy did a very good job on Liz. When we get into those situations where now she's able to be a dominant force, which I will continue to say it. Watching her overseas, and you see the highlight films, but you watch the games, what she can do. In my opinion, is a skill set that not a lot of bigs have. And so she's giving her those opportunities and giving her the confidence to go and dominate when you don't have to deal with a big, and deal with like defensively trying to contain her matchup. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you ever gonna let her shoot a 3-pointer?
If we work on it, of course, yes. I'm a big proponent of that. Like, if you come in the gym and work on it in the off season, it looks good, then so be it. But Sadie's is smart. Like, she can do it. She's extended her range, but she's very smart. And one of these days we will see it. But I don't know. I don't know how.
It sounds like no to me then.
Not yet. It's not a no. It's a not yet.
Okay. All right, Coach. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Percy. Maz, Vita, go ahead, Maz.
Yeah. Hey, Coach. Just the importance of going back to trusting the process and having a veteran team that doesn't look at the last 2 games, but understands lack of execution from the past, and yet looks forward to executing and moving forward within your game work, your strategy.
Yeah, it becomes very important. And though we have a veteran team, like I'll say, we have new pieces, and even within being a veteran team, we do have to take a look at it and see where we can continue to get better. And that's what we did for the past couple of days, just understanding that it's so interesting. Maybe we're not playing where we want to be at a team, but in a lot of these games we have leads. In a lot of these games it comes down to getting a couple stops, executing a little bit better offensively, not turning the ball over. And so when you really pinpoint that and understand it's us and what we can do, then as a veteran team, we go in and we practice and we work on those things. And now when we get into those situations again, it's about applying it in those moments.
And is that building confidence? Is there a confidence factor that's there because of that process?
Absolutely. And being in these games early, and it's tough, like wins, losses, and different. Like we want to persevere and we want to be on top. And our losses are lessons. And sometimes, you learn more in your losses, but we need to learn in our wins as well. But understanding that we've been through these tough games early on, where we have information and we have experience that will help us in these moments as we carry on throughout the season. And it's going to show, hopefully, now, right, in our game tomorrow, but also in the future of our season.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Maz. Adler, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. I just wanted to ask, obviously signed Sierra Burdick today. Just wanted to ask what she brings to your team in the front court for the season.
First and foremost, Sierra brings light. She's a great person, a great human being, energy, just the ability to, again, I'll just say be a light right now. And I think that energy needs to be infused within us. Sierra, I actually played with Sierra overseas, and she was young at that time, but just a very hard worker. The ability to handle the ball at the forward position, to move to have a mind for the game. She's a cerebral player. Defensively, being able to rebound and defend multiple positions. She's versatile in a lot of ways. Today in the gym working on her shot and things of that nature, but the ability to take bigs off the dribble and finish at the rim. All in all, just a very smart, cerebral player and a very hard worker.
Great. And then I wanted to ask, so the Dreamer are obviously a really downhill scoring team led by their guards. Are your traps and hedges going to be more important tomorrow, keeping them behind the line?
Whenever you ask questions, it's like as if you know our scout or you've been in practice. I'm very impressed.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
It's like you already know what schemes we're leaning toward. Yeah, obviously having Kennedy back, we have to eliminate her ability to go down on hill on us. We have to keep her in front, but in order to neutralize her, we have to, keep throw different looks at her, whether it's trapping, whether it's hard hedging, whether it's keeping her to one side of the floor. Obviously, Courtney Williams is a load as well, keeping her with bodies around, making sure we get her off her sweet spots in that mid range. Odyssey taking her off of her sweet spots as well. So yeah, it's about, in my opinion, in order to neutralize these tough guards, you have to give them different looks. So that's what we've been working on. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Em. Jeff Brown, go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Coach. So what was the conversation like with Kiana when you had to let her go? And did you give her any, I guess, parting advice as far as kind of next steps for her?
Yeah, it's tough because it was a business decision more than anything that she did or did not do. Kiana is a great individual. She's a great human being. What she provided for us was amazing. Day in, day out, didn't play a lot of minutes, but her energy never changed. Her attentiveness to detail. She's a great teammate. All of those things never changed, never wavered through what was going on. And I think, for me, and telling her just to stay ready, because though it is a business, and though this happened, we have an ability to, see you again, or another team can pick you up. And I hope that I don't know if I could say that. I'm hoping that's not quite the case, but it's just staying the course with her in her professional career, and understanding that she was a light for us in what she did for us. And it just is a tough business decision, and she understood, and she was great in her response.
Definitely. And then with adding Sierra with the 7-day contract, 7-day contract, is that mostly like for having the depth and everything for these pre-Olympic games? And then you so I guess, how does it work? Like, if you say you either have to sign her the rest of the season or cut her after the 7 days, but then you could re-sign her to another 7 days. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's how I understand it. I'm not the GM, so I'm not going to act as if I know, but that's my understanding. Correct. And absolutely, you hit it on the head, just providing depth for us before those games.
Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Well, thanks, Jeff. Kevin Pelton, why don't you wrap us up? Kevin, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, do you know when you're going to lose Ezzy and Stephanie to the Australian training camp?
Yes, right before our 2 Phoenix games.
Is getting Sierra in the mix, you have a little more depth in the post. Is that part of the factor of that as well, knowing Ezzy's not going to be around for those games?
Absolutely.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. All right, we'll go ahead and let you go unless there's any final questions for Coach. All right, thanks, Coach, for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow for your pregame talk about 5:45 tomorrow.
Sounds good.
And we'll go ahead. Thanks, Coach. And we'll bring in Katie Lou Samuelson here. Yeah, there she is. All right, if you have questions for Katie Lou, go ahead and raise that hand, and we will get going here in just a sec. There we go. All right, Jeff Brown, why don't you open us up? Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, Katie Lou, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. So your sister signed on with the Sparks recently. Obviously with her, it's been a little bit more inconsistent as far as in and out of the WNBA, as obviously with a lot of players. How has that been, for the two of you, your relationship? Like, what do you do to, continue encouraging her, throughout her career?
Yeah, I mean, Carly's one of the most positive people that you'll ever meet. So she's always, going to look at the bright side of everything, and she's going to take every opportunity she gets and make the most of it. So for her, she just works so hard that I'm so glad to see her getting, some time on the court and some time with the Sparks. I'm really excited to play against her. I think that'll be really cool, but she deserves this more than anyone else that I know.
Awesome. And then does that go both ways? Like, so if you're having a downtime or struggling, that she's there and lifting you up as well?
Absolutely. She's been kind of the person that just helped me through everything, my college career, and mostly my professional career. She's been there every step of the way, helping me, giving me advice whenever I need it, or just being, a positive light whenever I am feeling down or things aren't going my way. But, she's more excited than anyone for me to be here in Seattle and I feel the same way about her in LA. So, we both have that bond that, is really kind of unbreakable, and people that have siblings really understand the, love you have for each other.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. And then when you got the confirmation that you would be on the 3x3 Olympic team, what was, because obviously you were there for the qualifiers, but I guess my understanding is like they could have taken someone else, other players besides the four of you that were initially on the team. So what was that feeling like getting officially named?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, we definitely were aware of the fact that they could come in and make decisions to change the team, put the best team forward that they felt for Tokyo. And for us, they felt at the end of the day that was the four of us together. So it was a great feeling to get that call and just really know that we're going to Tokyo. It's still kind of surreal, but it's awesome.
And last one for me, do you know like how that'll work as far as will the 3x3 team be like, will you like be able to hang out with, the other Olympic team like Stewie and Jewel and stuff like that? Or are you guys going to be in like separate locations?
So I'm actually not fully sure on the whole protocol and stuff like that. I do know we play in separate areas. So I don't know how close everything is. So I guess I'll see more as time goes on.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Lou.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Let's go over to M. Adler. M, go ahead.
Hi. So I just wanted to ask, just to start off with, I've noticed over the past couple of games, I don't think it happened as much in the first couple of games. You look like you've been getting a lot more post-ups when you've been guarded by smaller wing players. Is that something you're trying to add to your game a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. I think, we have pretty much a size advantage usually at the three throughout our team. And so, being bigger guards, we've really tried to take that and use that to our advantage as much as we can. I'm getting more comfortable with it. And so I think it's just been more natural to see, the opportunities.
Great. And then with the team obviously rotating a lot of how they send out their units, so like you might be at the three, you might be just directly replaced by Steph, who I see is also here. What does that do for you in terms of just coming into the game and knowing you slot in, you sort of have a more or less defined role?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we have three players usually always on the court that kind of take a lot of attention from teams. And so being really aware that, you have to be ready to step up and help and be in the right spots whenever you need to be in order to help them out, because that's the way that our team can be the most successful, is if all five of us on the court are playing really well together. And I think, as it's gone on, we've all gotten a little more defined in our roles, but we're still learning, we're still getting better. I think we actually have a lot more that we can do as a team. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out as we continue to build that chemistry.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Em. Percy Allen, go ahead, Percy.
Awesome. Hey, Lou, I'm just like wondering, considering that you guys have lost 3 of your 4 losses have been by 4 points or less, how much are you guys working on those last minute, last second situations?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, we don't get in the gym every single day and go, okay, end of the game, 4 seconds, make a shot, because we know that, there's things leading up to those possessions, those times that we can fix. It's kind of like a couple minute stretches where we can really lock in and focus in order to change the outcome of the game, in the sense that we don't have to necessarily put ourselves in last second shots. We can, for 3 minutes building up, making sure we don't have really important turnovers or things that kind of stop our momentum as a team. So we've kind of just been trying to put everything together, and we're really focused on, having full games and making sure that we take care of what we need to do throughout the whole 40 minutes, and especially those last, 3 or 4 minute stretches of each quarter.
Totally understandable. Hey, just being someone though who has made some shots at the buzzer, at the end of the quarter there. I'm not sure what that was, Jeff.
Okay. Just joking on my own self here. Sorry.
That's all good. Is it are like those situations? Can you sort of compare it, or like would you feel comfortable? Like if like you were in those roles, because again, you've made those buzzer beaters to end quarters, and so you kind of know what that kind of feels like a bit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think, whenever my number is called, I'm always going to be ready to, step up if I need to. We have so many different threats on our team that, we're all waiting to be told to put in our position to be successful. But I have no doubt that, every game we're following the game plan and we're all being put in the best spot possible. But like I said, whenever your number is called, you just got to be ready.
There you go. All right, Lou, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Percy. Any other questions before we let Lou go today? All right, Katie Lou, thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow out at the game. All right, let's bring in Steph here, Stephanie Talbot, joining us to round out the day. If you have questions for Steph, go ahead and hit that hand raise button and we'll get to you. We'll start out with Mazvita. Go ahead, Maz.
Yeah, Stephen, I just wondered how have practices been, and then just the excitement of getting back on the court and for you guys to continue your progress.
Yeah, I think we had 2 days off after the last game, rested our bodies a little bit, and surprisingly, practices have been really good. I mean, sometimes after a couple of days off, coming back, practices can be a bit down, but everybody come in fresh and ready to go and working on some things we need to work on, and I think everybody's feeling good.
Yeah, and just Katie Lou talked about that. I'm wondering if you expand on just the team playing a full game, if that's been a discussion from start to finish and closing out games.
Yeah, we watched a bit of film and just comparing stretches in the game, 2 or 3 minute stretches where we are playing how we want to play, and then we're watching other stretches where we're not really playing how we want to play. We're just missing some final touches. If we can string together more of those periods and cut out the periods where we're not playing, like you said, playing more of a 40 minutes instead of only playing 30, I think that's going to help us against the tougher teams like Vegas.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maz. Em Adler, go ahead, Em.
Oh, sorry. I was sorry. Just wanted to ask, obviously you had played less time over the past couple of games. Those units interchanging might be matchup dependent. With Atlanta being smaller, I suppose you're going to see more time, right?
Yeah, I'm unsure. I'm obviously not in the coaching staff. Obviously we have a big height advantage over Atlanta, so hopefully we'll be able to use that. I think there's been a few things going in the background, so some rotations might change. Hopefully I'll get to play a bit more, few minutes in the games coming up, but I'm just always going to be ready for the minutes I do play and be positive and cheer my team when I don't.
Gotcha. And that leads me into, what do you have to, or what does it take from you to be able to play more or less minutes and also play with different kinds of units?
Yeah, I think honestly I just have to keep doing what I'm doing. I think defensively and rebounding is kind of what I have to bring, and then the offense is kind of like the icing on the cake, like if I'm knocking down shots and getting to the rim, that's a bonus. But in terms of getting more minutes, I think the defense and the rebound and the hustle plays is kind of what I need to do.
Great, thanks.
Thanks, Em. And Jeff Brown, go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Stephanie. So you just mentioned there were some things going on in the background as far as maybe like lineup changes or rotation changes. Did you want to elaborate any more on that?
Honestly, I don't even know what they are. I just know we're speaking to the coaches. I know they're working on changing a few things and hopefully trying to get my minutes up if I'm playing well. But yeah, I don't know anymore to tell you.
Is that frustrating as far as like, the role has been kind of up and down this year?
Yeah, I think, I mean, a couple years ago, this would have frustrated me. I think the older I've experienced, I had a lot of experience. I've been through some things and I've kind of learned how to cope. I feel like I'm doing well. I feel like I'm helping the team, and that's all I can do. Whether my minutes go up and down when I'm on the court, I just want to do my role.
Definitely. And then obviously this past week you guys had back-to-back losses for the first time all season, but I did feel like they were kind of different games where Washington, you know, they were shooting lights out, Tina was on fire. You guys were playing catch up that whole game, but against Vegas, you guys were leading throughout almost the entire way. How frustrating was that Vegas loss? Because obviously it's important standing wise, but also because you guys were in charge of most of that game.
Yeah, it was a super important game in terms of it would have been nice to have the split on them, and also frustrating because the whole game it kind of felt like we had it in the bag. It was our game to take and we kind of lost it at the end. So I don't think it was anything they did. They didn't take the win from us. I think we did that to ourselves, which is what's frustrating.
Definitely. And then we'll end on a positive note from me. Obviously the Olympics are coming up. Just how excited are you to, represent Australia and play with Ezzy and the rest of the Australian team?
Yeah, I'm super excited to get back with the Aussie girls, obviously, and go to Tokyo and hopefully bring home a medal for our country. I think we've been working towards that goal since Rio now, so it's 5 years. I think we're all just super excited to get there and get working.
Definitely. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions for Steph before we let her go today? All right, that'll wrap up our media time for today. Thank you, Steph, for joining us. We appreciate it, and good luck out there tomorrow. And thanks everybody else for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.